Welcome to Schooling Around. As we cruise into the new school year, we thought we'd give you a taste of things to come. Speaking of taste, we'll talk to Karen Bissett, our Nutrition Services Director, who'll tell us what's on her menu. Also, we check in with Dan Balsley over at Auto Tech as he turns the key on a new year of competitions. But first, we're going to snap our fingers to new tunes coming from the music rooms at OHS. We'll get you in the groove right after this. If you've attended any of our football games, you know that the high school marching band has performed music from Les Miserables. Some pretty good stuff. But there's a lot more coming up. Director Jim Gibbons tells us where the music takes them.
We have our first competition for marching band, and so we'll have 3 competitions, the 30th and then October 7th and October 21st. So we're going to different schools to take the halftime show on the road and see how that lines up against other schools.
Where will you be going?
This Saturday it's Pontiac, and then the 7th of October is Alma, and the 21st is at Brandon High School.
Oh, great. What about other competitions this year? What other competitions?
We actually, this is a kind of we have our normal MSBOA, Michigan School Band and Orchestra Association band festival stuff. Mm-hmm. So we do that. That's the first weekend of March that we have those things. But we're not traveling this year. This is our off year. Last year we did Disney World, and next school year we will do New York City. So this is the year, kind of our down year for travel. Although we are going to do a field trip. I'm going to take a group of kids that want to go see Les Miserables. Is going to be in downtown Detroit in February and March, and so I'll take a group of kids down and we'll have dinner and see the show, which is nice because we're performing music from that for our halftime show this year. So.
In addition to the Les Miserables halftime shows, what other themes do you have coming up for your performances this year? What do you have in mind?
Well, it's we're kind of that's a fluid type of thing. I program based on how the bands progress, and so I have ideas for some stuff that I want to do over the course of the year. But rather than say I'm going to make the band fit the music, I kind of take an approach. I'm going to make the music fit the band. And so we're still in the year, I'm starting to get a much stronger feel of how the bands, where their strengths lie, where their weaknesses lie, and as I see that, then I program what we're going to play based on what I see as their strengths and weaknesses, and also where I can develop their, like pick a piece to develop certain skills that I'm trying to improve upon, so that I can say, hey, this helps them work on this type of rhythm or complex rhythms, and so I may pick a piece of music that does that helps me meet their needs as a band, as an ensemble. And of course, when I program, I'll do stuff that is educational in nature, that like this is a teaching type of piece, or there's a historical significance for it, and stuff that really is just it's fun to play, it's fun for the audience to listen to.
Right. So, when is your next big concert after the football season?
Well, we have Bandorama concert, which is October 25th. I think I'm October 25th. That's a Wednesday night, and that's actually an opportunity to see all of the high school bands in one concert. So the jazz band will be there, all 3 of the concert bands, and then the marching band closes it. It's a long concert, but you get a real sense of the whole entire program at that concert.
That's great. Just a reminder to our viewers that they can get DVD copies of those concerts. All they got to do is call OCTV and let us know what you want. So
we're at 6:30 on the 25th, so that'll be a great concert. One of the wind ensemble, which is the top concert ensemble in the school, is doing a band classic. We're doing Irish Tune from County Derry, which is a Percy Granger piece. Beautiful. I personally think one of the most beautiful songs written for band. And so that's, I was talking earlier about historical pieces, and that falls into that category of being a landmark piece for band. Kind of the Shakespeare equivalent of language arts, that's kind of the Shakespeare equivalent in band.
Next, we jazz things up a bit with John Hill and the Jazz Band. Stay tuned. Oxford Jazz Band director John Hill's excited this year. Most of his kids have been in the program for a while, and he's trying some neat new stuff.
Okay, we are looking at lots of things coming up for the Jazz Band. This is a pinnacle year for the Jazz Band. Lots of seniors. Probably 2/3 of the band at least are seniors, and they have really come into their own as far as performing well, improvising well, playing in a great jazz style. And so we're going to do a lot of things with the Jazz Band this year. First up, we do have some New York musicians coming in. They're performing at Cliff Bell's down in Detroit. It's a great jazz club down in Detroit. They're performing Sunday night, October 22nd, and they contacted me, actually through Miss Frakes, who's a buddy of the band leaders, and they're going to come in and do a clinic the morning of October 23rd during 0 Hour Jazz Band and during First Hour Band. Or during First Hour school, the teachers are letting their students out as long as they make up their homework and stuff. So doing a really cool jazz clinic with New York musicians on October 23rd. December 7th, we're going to be featured at Cliff Bell's again. We're going to be the opening act for the Scott Gwinnell Big Band. And so we get to play, and we play about an hour set, and then the Scott Gwinnell Orchestra will play after them. And a lot of times that sort of thing, the student musicians get to sit in with the pros. I'll probably be playing drums for the pro band, I would imagine. So it'll be a lot of fun to have, and Cliff Bell's is just a great jazz. It's a great jazz venue for Detroit area. We're also looking at doing several festivals in the spring. One of them being the Thornapple Jazz Festival. We went there my first year here, and we want to go back. The entire town of Hastings, Michigan is the Jazz Festival. Every restaurant has live music all day for the 3 days. Every public building, the library, all the auditoriums in town have performances. So there's over 100 performing jazz groups in 3 days, and we're going to go there for sure. And then we have the MSBOA Jazz Festival, and it's the State Jazz Festival, and that'll be at the end of March. And that's a qualifying event for students to be nominated for the Youth Arts Festival, which is at the end of the school year, and that's where they take all the best jazz musicians from all over the state and put them into like an all-star band.
Now, a little bird told me that you're going to have you're hoping to have some kind of a little dinner dance benefit.
Yes, yeah. We, in fact, I don't even have that on the books yet, but that's something that I think that'd be really cool. I really want to work closely with the band booster, the Oxford Band Booster organization, putting that together, and that will be. The dream is to do something where we have maybe a spaghetti dinner or some sort of catered dinner. The school does wonderful catering here, and then do a dinner and maybe have the jazz combos. We have several students that like to play in the jazz combo setting. Have kids play, maybe dinner music during the jazz combo or during the dinner sets, and then have a swing dance type thing with a big band, and have us prepare maybe an hour and a half of swing dance music where parents can either sit back and enjoy and listen to the big band, or actually dance and have kind of a night out, have a big night out for the jazz band and their parents, and hopefully the town would get into it. So I think that.
Well, you mentioned swing band music. That was going to be kind of my next question. Do you have any special theme for your concerts this year? Any particular types of music you're looking at?
Well, I like to, and I'm right now at the beginning of this. We're going to the 5th year of school. Right now, we're just sight reading every day. We've read, since the beginning of the school year. I bet we've read 20 or 30 different big band arrangements. We read every day at least one, if not 2 or 3 or 4. So as far as a theme goes, we're reading all these different pieces of music. I'm kind of formulating in my mind what works for the band, what works for our featured soloists in the band, and then develop my themes from there. I did buy some Miles Davis music. Blue and Green we got a great arrangement of Blue and Green. We got some Thelonious Monk music. Thelonious Monk, the great pianist. Well You Needn't is a great tune that he wrote. We have so I'm thinking, maybe not all bebop or anything, but just different themes. Obviously, for a swing dance, we'd have to go back to the 1940s and 30s and 40s.
Cetera.
Yeah, so we'd want to do some of that stuff for the swing dance for sure. So.
Is Michigan State coming back with their?
Michigan State, now they're not coming here, but we did, the Michigan State, it's called the Lansing Symphony Big Band, invited us to come to Michigan State and be an opening band for their Lansing Symphony Big Band concert. And so that's March 11th. So we're actually looking to go there. The Michigan State is not bringing groups this year. But we're going to head over there. So we still have a great collaboration with Michigan State. It happens to be that we're going to go there this time.
Sounds like an exciting year.
Oh, unbelievable.
When it comes to our vocal program, it's all in the cards. Christopher Card, that is. When we come back, he'll cover everything vocal from concerts to the next musical. As you heard, this year is a non-travel year for our musicians, but that doesn't mean things are boring because of no Disney World. Choir Director Christopher Card is here to tell us more.
Yeah, we always got something going on in our choir world. Our first activity is October 18th. That's a Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. We're putting on a very exciting program, I think, called Crossing Borders. So all the songs in the concert are taken from different cultures, different than our own. So we're traveling the world musically, so to speak.
And are there any special competitions coming up or journeys that your group is going to go on
We
this year?
don't do competitions. This year, we're not doing any. We're staying at home this year, so we're really concentrating on the 4 main programs we do here in Oxford for the choirs. Our fall concert, Crossing Borders. Our Christmas program's huge with many moods of Christmas in December, and we do 5 showings over 3 nights for that. We're bringing in February, we bring in a guest conductor, and they work with our students. We're bringing in one of the finest teachers in the state of Michigan. She's been teaching for a long time. Her name's Shirley Lemon, so she's going to be working with our students, and then we have our spring show, which is always a lot of fun.
Where's Shirley Lemon from?
Shirley Lemon taught in Grand Haven Schools, retired there, and she's teaching at Grand Valley State University right now. Phenomenal conductor and a wonderful person. Our kids are going to be real blessed to work with her. It's a neat experience because they're used to the director they work with here. So Mrs. Flynn in the middle school, myself here at the high school. And so working with somebody else gives them that different perspective of things that maybe we haven't thought of or stuff. But somebody who's really at the top of their game, world class, and our students really benefit from that.
Any special themes you're concentrating on besides the Crossing Borders?
We're talking about what is my why in our choirs this year. The idea behind that is, why do I do what I do? As far as what drives our motivation, because there's always those days that, man, I just don't feel good, I don't want to do a thing, or just a lazy mood kind of thing. And for some people, just missing that purpose. Why should I work hard? And so what is my why? Ask the question of, why should I be doing something? What are the reasons I can have to do something and to do it really well? So by exploring that, our students are individualizing their education. So they're coming up with their own motivation, so their teacher doesn't just have to tell them to do this. Cool thing, they're also doing it in their lives outside of the classroom. So I know some of the students says, I'm working on this, I'm trying to cut out swearing, or I'm working on cutting out eating this certain food that's not healthy for me, or things like that. And their why is because they want to be responsible with their life, and I think that's really,
How do you
really cool.
bring this into vocalizing?
Well, again, we just talk about it in the world. I mean, music is great because you can talk about it in the context of music, but music is life. And so as you're talking about that, the spin-off happens real easy. And in IB, we talk about being open-minded, caring, risk-taking, and knowledgeable. And so all these things lend themselves to discussions that extend beyond, our curriculum of music. And so students like that. They like that it's not just music, it's life.
Hey, what's the musical this year?
This year's musical is Cinderella, a classic musical that's been around for a long time, and since the 50s. And this production we're doing is actually a Broadway rewrite. So it's using the classic music everybody knows, and it's kind of telling the story in a little bit different way. So it's taking a different glance at the character of the prince and how he gets into a relationship with Cinderella. So not a huge plot change or anything. You don't want to mess with something really cool, but the rewrite's really quite nice.
Any flying?
We have flown in our musical for the last 3 years, and we're keeping people on the ground for this one.
Keeping your feet on the ground.
Yes, for a first time in a long time.
Well, thank you very much. Anything else you can think of you want to
You know
add?
what? We're having a great time here in the arts. I just really love the support that Oxford shows to our schools, to our students, and to the arts, as well as the academics and athletics. It's a great community to be living in that can celebrate all aspects of life, and in the arts we really benefit from that.
Orchestra director Natalie Frakes doesn't fiddle around. She's got our orchestra playing some great tunes this year. She'll even demonstrate. Next.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. Every day, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Oxford Orchestra director Natalie Frakes has her strings in tune as we go into the new year. But just a warning, it's going to get pretty spooky.
Okay, so Natalie, you've got the violin in your hands. That's a dangerous weapon. What are you going to do with that?
Yes, sir, it is. Well, here in Orchestra, we learn how to play string instruments, and I'm just going to demonstrate one of the pieces that we're going to be playing at our Fall Spooktacular with special guests, New Classica coming back, an electro-pop violin band, and with DJ, and this is one of the songs that we'll be playing with the high school orchestras.
And yeah, you're in that group, right?
I am.
Are you going to be playing with those?
I have not
fellows?
decided yet, but I know that the
not
Oxford
offense.
Dance Conservatory will be joining us on that. So,
Okay.
but take a listen.
Very nice. Can I clap?
Yeah, thank you. Sorry about that little
That's
scratchy.
super. So is there a special significance to this with the orchestra, or?
This is for our Fall Spooktacular, which is something that we started a few years ago, my first year here, where we have the kids dress up in Halloween costumes or a costume that they would like to dress up in for the fall, just to celebrate, the season and everything.
When's that coming up?
That is on October 24th at 7 p.m. in the Oxford Performing Arts Center.
And just a reminder, we do record those at OCTV, and people can buy the DVD.
You guys can watch that
All you gotta do is give us a call and order one.
Yes.
So.
And we're going to play some fun music like the piece I just played, Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes. We'll be playing in the Hall of the Mountain King, which you guys would recognize if you heard it. Some music from Ratatouille, the movie with the rat in Paris, and some other really cool stuff. So please come out.
Okay, very good. That's great. Are you, during this school year, are you concentrating on any special composer with the high school orchestra, or?
Not quite.
special
We
theme?
like to keep it well-rounded, and I like to make sure that the programs are all lively, that there's some classical, there are some newer pieces, and that every skill is touched on, and that every every orchestra is learning something new every concert cycle. One of the biggest things that's happening this year is that it's our 10-year anniversary. So in the spring, please be looking out for some big things. We've got big plans ahead, and we're very, very excited to be in our 10th year at the Oxford Orchestra program, and moving forward, continuing the legacy of musical excellence.
Did you want to tell us about any of the big plans ahead?
It's a surprise. It's going to be a surprise, so we will get to that later on. But we do have lots of things coming up. Again, our Tuesday, on Tuesday, October 24th, is our Halloween or Fall Spooktacular at 7 p.m. for the 7th and 12th grade through 12th grade orchestras. And then Suzuki Strings is starting back up on Monday, October 2nd. So if you've not signed up for that, please sign up now. And we offer Suzuki guitar and Suzuki violin instruction for our elementary students. And then elementary orchestras have started already. So if you have a child that would like to learn violin, viola, cello, or bass, first year orchestra has started, but we are accepting new members every day.
Who do they see about that?
They see me.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so contact me. My information is online at our website, oxfordorchestras.weebly, weebly.com, and all our information is on there. And you can contact me at natalie.frakes@oxfordschools.org if you'd like.
Any big competitions coming up this year that some of your students will be participating in or anything like that?
I have some students participating in the Oakland University Honors Orchestra. We are looking to have our chamber orchestra play at the Wayne State Honors String Day, which is in February. And as we do every year, we are going to participate in the MSBOA District Band and Orchestra Festival in March, and solo and ensemble as well.
Very good. Well, we wish you much luck and much success. Last year, as I recall, you had a composition winner, didn't you, in one of the events?
Yes. We had Andrew Wassell, was a composition winner for the MMEA Honors Composition Contest, and he had his piece performed and premiered at the Michigan Music Conference, which was a big deal. So that, and we actually ended up playing it at the end of the year with a soloist from the high school as well.
Now it's time to start our engines. We check in with Dan Balsley over at Autotech after this. Last year, Autotech got some bad news. 2 of their major competitions were canceled. A lot of scholarships come from those. And at least one is coming back.
They're bringing back the mites competition.
They are?
Yes. So I'm glad to hear that. There's been a resurgence among the auto teachers to put something in place. In fact, they're even talking about some supplementary auto competition. But the people running mites are very convicted in bringing back the competition this year, so I'm glad to see that's happening. There's still no word on AAA Ford. I don't know as that's going to come back around.
Well, okay, so that's still a question mark for this year.
Yes.
You got any hopes for that?
Oh yeah, I hope that someone's able to step in and resurrect the AAA Ford troubleshooting competition. That was a great competition with a lot of sponsors and affected a lot of students throughout the United States. So I do hope that's able to come back somehow.
And what about mini mites?
We're going to do our own competitions this year. We're going to do both mini mites, which is my own version of the mites competition, where the students go station to station, working in different areas, competing. But we're also going to do our brake service competition. Both of those will probably be second semester.
So is your classroom filled up this year?
Yes. I had more students than I could take. And so unfortunately I had to turn some of them away just for safety reasons, but I'm running full classes in both Autotech groups.
Just for curiosity, did you get any exciting news from any of your graduates? Have you heard anybody bragging about their employment successes or anything like that?
There are always a few that are going directly into the field and working in dealerships. Some of them are going to school, some of them are going into the military. So as they come back, and this is the time of year they kind of come back and visit, then I kind of get an update as to what's going on. But there are quite a few. When I go into the dealerships, I am usually saying hi to one when another comes around the corner, so it's nice to see.
Anything special you're doing with your own training this year for the kids? Any new programs, any new classes, anything different?
I'm still doing the same type of classes that I have been with the entry-level auto repair. Then the auto tech is a full year, 2-hour block, and that's an auto tech 1, 2, and 3 class. So I'm still doing those. Still have the car club that meets on Tuesdays after school. So we're doing a lot of those same things.
A lot of computer stuff in auto repair these days, isn't there?
There is. You have to pretty much have a good handle on electronics and be able to use a scan tool to do repairs in almost any of the systems.
Are you looking for a helping hand from anybody in the community as far as helping out with the program in some way, shape, or form or anything?
One of my students last year stepped forward and helped us out quite a bit. I was really surprised. He's a member of my advisory committee now, a graduate from early to mid 2000s. He actually took it upon himself to get supplies donated to the shop. He was asking me what I could use, and I gave him a list, and I thought that maybe he had a surplus in his business. Turns out he went out and purchased these things and recruited other businesses to help out with the donation effort, and ended up giving us thousands of dollars in supplies. And this was just at the end of the school year last year. So Steve's was involved. He works for Turnkey. And
what was Steve's last name again?
Steve Ray. And the student is Mike Lawrence, and he works at Turnkey, and then he even got Quality Fastener to chip in, and so we got all kinds of supplies donated to the program just at the end of last year. Really surprised me. That just kept coming in, and so that was really nice to see a student giving back like that to the program, so that was great.
Karen Bissett is our Nutrition Services Director. Late last year, she thought she'd try something new, Oriental, as in stir-fry.
But it has been very popular, and we are very excited that we've brought it back this year, that it was such a success. It's our stir-fry line, so each day the students are able to pick up a bowl, and they can have their choice of all the different items of fruits and vegetables. Then they give it to one of our servers, and they cook it fresh with, and they have, there's possibility of 8 different sauces. They have beef, grilled chicken, crispy chicken, and on Fridays we also offer shrimp as an option with noodles or rice cooked special for them, just the way they like it.
And this happens in a timely manner?
So we can get all the students through the lunch line with no problem.
Wow. And what does it cost them?
It's a $3 lunch, same as the rest of our lunches.
Okay. Very good. Cool. I'm going to take a shot of the food here. So they can tell them if they want chicken or beef or whatever?
Yes.
Okay, anything else new and exciting in the cafeteria this year?
So then we also have a Tex-Mex line that is offered 3 days a week, that they have their choice of fajitas, soft shell tacos, burritos, nachos, and they could have like guacamole, and we brought in fresh hot salsa, fresh mild salsa, black beans, refried beans, guacamole, the sour cream, so they can make it special how they want it to be.
That sounds like
we're trying to do
professional restaurant, you know.
We're trying to make our bars all customized so that it's the students' preference of what they would like.
Okay, anything special coming up this year for any special holidays?
Yep. So we, on October 24th, we have dedicated that day that we will be featuring our Asian, Mexican, and Indian cultures. So the students will be able to have chances to try different entrees and have some some different cuisine that from different countries.
Wow, that's terrific. Anything else you want to throw in there?
I think
Anything else you want to stir into the pot?
we're just excited. We're always looking for changes and to better our menus for our students. We're working towards more clean labels. So anything that we can look at for cleaner labels, we're doing that also.
On a more serious note, has the government thrown any tougher stipulations at you this year? that you
No,
have to-
everything's status quo.
My mouth is watering. And that's Schooling Around for this week. Thanks to Kyle Snage at the controls, Dan Zweiss at the editing desk, and you for watching. This is Oxford Community Television, keeping it local. Let's go to lunch.